Happy Thanksgiving, guys. I know it was yesterday. I hope you had a fantastic day. We didn't want to upload the cooking video yesterday because not only are we uploading the cooking video, we're uploading the Patreon version, which is, I think it's an hour and 50 long this video is. I know most people won't want to watch the whole thing, but if you wanted to watch how my mum made some things, we did the last couple of dishes like the sweet potato casserole. It's on here. Kind of look at this as like a cooking podcast. Hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy this, all cooking videos are not normally this long, but you normally get content like this, an extra 5-10 minutes per video on Patreon than on the YouTube. We normally edit it up, but it's a nice little treat for Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy. Smash that button, smash that subscribe button. We are live tonight as well with my mum joining us, so check that out at 5 Eastern on the 29th of November. Have a fantastic day, guys, and enjoy the video. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is let's try to make Thanksgiving dinner.
It is. It looks really. I say we. You.
Yeah,
have
my
done a
mum
great job.
made it.
Yeah, you've done some as well. It's been a joint effort. We've done a lot of cooking all together. We really have.
Definitely. It's not just this. There is some desserts, a sweet potato casserole and stuff like that come in. We spent a good 20 minutes as well cooking. So hope you enjoy this video. Enjoy the video, guys, and we're going to tuck in on another video.
Hi everyone, it's Vicky James's mum. I'm back today doing something very exciting. Well, I feel it's exciting. So we're going to be doing a Thanksgiving dinner all together with James and Millie, a little Archie. So it's so exciting. So I'm going to prepare a little bit before James and Millie get here because there's a lot to do. There's a lot going on. But before I start, I'd just love to say the Thanksgiving celebration it's just fantastic. We don't do this in the UK, but I think it's just wonderful, so wonderful that you do it. I love it, and I do think it's so important to give thanks, to be grateful for all we have, the food on our table and our friends and our family. So to be able to do a Thanksgiving dinner and just share stories and just really love each other and just embrace each other and just spend that day, Thanksgiving Day, just to be together, because we're so busy with our lives all the time. You don't always get time to do that. So I think it's a fantastic thing to do. So thank you for introducing us to Thanksgiving, and this is something we will be doing as a tradition as a family, definitely every year. So I'm hoping that if you keep watching and liking the videos, we'll do Thanksgiving again next year and the year after, and you can see how Archie grows and progress and just follow our family story. So so here goes. So as you can see, I've got a lot going on. So I've done a little bit of, well, it's not preparation, I've just got things out and put them in dishes. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm cooking today a lot. So firstly, I'll just go through quickly what we're going to cook. So we're doing a turkey. Now, in the UK, we don't have any turkeys at the moment, so I've just got a turkey crown. It's still a turkey, but it's a turkey crown, so I can't do the full big turkey, but I can do the turkey crown. So I'm going to do the turkey. I'm also going to do a gammon joint. I'm going to do a proper honey roast gammon joint from scratch, because I have done that before and I do love that. So I hope you like how I do that. And also pigs in blankets, I do it a little bit different, a little bit twist how I cook them. So you've got to tell me if you love it or you hate it. I don't really know, but they taste absolutely delicious the way I cook them. And also I'm going to do a cracked pepper belly pork as well. Then I'm going to do a nice cheesy mash with garlic, with some soft cheese in it, things like that, and with some pepper and some salt. So that's really yummy tasty with some breadcrumbs on top. Also, what else have we got going on? Yorkshire puddings. They've been made from scratch. I know we can't always make things from scratch, so it doesn't matter if you don't have time. I just enjoy doing it, and because I think I've done it for quite a few years, Yorkshire puddings, I don't find it too difficult. It's always in my head, the recipes, like I've always told you, it's my gran taught me to do. I just do comfort foods. I'm not a chef. I'm just a mum and a grandmother, and just love my family, and I just love cooking. Really just comfort food, really, just for the family. So we've got the Yorkshire puddings. What else have we got going on? Oh, I'm going to make a beautiful apple tart for dessert, which we're going to have for vanilla ice cream. I've not made the ice cream, but I will do a video making the ice cream. So I have done a video for you on making Yorkshire puddings, but I will go through with everything that I'm making, just the guidelines on the method and the quantities. So I hope that helps. And if you don't like some of the flavours I'm using, some of the things, just tell me. I know I love to learn from you. I really do. So please just keep those comments coming and encouragement. And if you like it, tell me if you want to, if I could change something, make it taste better. I just love to know. I just really love it. So thank you. Like I said, we just love all America. So, and we love your foods. So I'm so excited today. I really am for Thanksgiving. I really am. I can't tell you. I am a very happy person and I am full of love. So yeah, so this is a perfect day for me. It is a perfect day. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start to get the gammon joint already to start to be cooking, because that is quite a long process. So that's why I've started a little bit early before James and Millie get here, because some of these things I do take quite a few hours. So anyway, that's how I'm going to do. So here's the gammon joint. If you look there, it's a very nice piece of gammon joint there. And you can see I've got my bay leaves here. These are from the garden, from the bay leaf tree. So here's the gammon joint. I got this from the butcher's, and it kind of wrapped it with the string mesh, just so it doesn't fall apart. So this is how I do my honey roast gammon joint. So let me know if you've done this before like I'm doing it, or you do it differently, but this is how Gran taught me to do it. So here we go. So I'm just going to get this pan off the stove. Let's turn it down. I've just set this pre going, so I'm going to explain what's in here. So to do my gammon joint, what I do is I get a sauce, well, a pan, a large pan, depends on the size of your joint, and I fill it with water, and then I put one full carton of fresh orange juice in with the bits. So you can use smooth if you prefer that, if you don't like the bits, but I do like that to get into the joint. So it's just water, just so it covers the joint, and 1 carton of fresh orange juice. And you just bring it to the boil, okay? There we go. So you can you see, sorry, that's the orange juice in there blended in. And then what I do is I pop just 2, because bay leaves can be quite strong, so I just put 2 bay leaves in. Here are the bay leaves. So I'll pop them in there like that. So they're popped in there like that. And then I put the gammon joint in. Woo! There we go. So as you can see, it's just covered it. It's just covered it there. So that goes now back on the hob. Let's pop that there, on that ring there. So now that's been, the water's boiling with the orange juice in. Now I've added the bay leaves, I've added the gammon joint. Now that needs to simmer. I know this sounds a long time, but it really is stunning. It's stunning, it is, once it's cooked. So I cook that for 4 to 5 hours on a very, very low simmer. So just a very, very low simmer, just pop a lid on it. I've got the lid out, I'll get that out in a moment. And put the lid on top of your pan, and just a very low simmer, because if you do it too much, it'll boil over, especially with the lid. So it's got to be very, very, very low. So do that to about 4 or 5 hours, whichever you prefer. 4 hours is fine. I go between 4 and 5 hours. So once that's cooked, I'll show you the next stages. I will when it's cooked. So it soaks in all the orange juice, and all the juices go in. And also, I'm going to add into the pan, just showing you some orange pieces. So just some thick orange pieces like that. So I'll just add 3 of those in here. So that just gives it an extra bit of zest in there. I haven't added salt to the gammon joint because gammon joints are quite salty anyway, so I don't think it needs it. But if you feel it does, you know, you add it. It's personal preference and taste that. But anyway, I think there's enough salt in there. So that's going to be simmering away for the next 4 to 5 hours. And then what I'll do is I'll take it out and show you the next stage, which is taking it out, letting it cool slightly, and then not fully though, just slightly, just to take the steam off. And then we coat it in honey, which is beautiful. Just lots of honey and a little bit of herbs, and then we put it back into the oven then just to finish off roasting, and it's absolutely delicious. And you can actually, I know I'm going on a bit now, but I do get excited about the gammon joint. I ought to do a video just on that, because then if you do if you cook it like this, it's so moist inside, it doesn't fall apart, it still holds together, but it's so moist inside, and you can eat it for days after, just thin slices off it, and it's delicious, completely delicious. So please, if you make that, please let me know how it goes. But I think I'll do a separate video on that for you as well. Let me know if you want me to do a separate video on that, because it is there's a bit going on, but it's totally delicious. It's worth the time. So I'll just put that to one side. So that's the gammon joint that's in. Also, I've got, oops, sorry about that. I've got a piece of belly pork, and I've already dressed that. It's quite simple, really. I just have a cut piece of belly pork like that. You buy to the size whatever you want, but we've got a few meats going on, so I haven't gone huge. And that's got some cracked pepper on. So what I do is I just put cracked pepper all over the top of it, put a tiny little bit of water in the bottom, tiny bit, just to cover so it doesn't stick. And then I add, but this is preference again, and with it being Thanksgiving, we just go the extra treat with it being Thanksgiving. That's how I feel anyway. So I don't know if you do that, but I just think. So I'm going to put a little bit of white wine. Don't pour it over the top though, because your cracked pepper will fall off. So I just give it a little bit of the white wine, and then that will go in the oven to cook. And I'll cook that on quite a high heat, because you want the top of the belly pork to go crisp. So this bit all needs to be crisp, and it's the belly pork, if you see, it's got, which you know, it's got a thick rind, so you want that to cook through and be quite crisp as well. Really tasty. So I would put that, I'd start to cook it on about 180, 190, so it starts to cook through, and then and I do that, depends on the size of your joints, the timings are always different, but for your last 25 minutes, turn your oven up, put it to the top, and then it crisps the top. So I turn it up to at least 200, 210, put the belly pork on the top, and that crisps that rind on the top beautifully. Also, you could add a little bit of maple syrup or honey to that as well if you wanted, if you fancy doing that, but I don't. I just do that, and then part way through, when I take it out to move it to the top and turn it up, I just baste it with the juices. So I just get a spoon and baste over the top, just to keep it nice and moist as well. But you only need to do that once as you're moving it to the top of the oven and turn it up, because if not, your crust will not go crispy. So yeah, just do it the once, and then 25 minutes on a high heat, you've got a beautiful crust on that, and the belly pork, that's gorgeous as well. So there we go, that's the belly pork. And now here we've got the turkey crown. I know, I'm sorry it's not a full turkey. I did try, but we just haven't got them till nearer Christmas. So anyway, I've got the turkey crown, which is very, very lovely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a stuffing for the turkey crown, because here, even though it is a turkey crown, not a turkey, we still have the fold of the skin where we can pop the stuffing, and that just helps to keep it juicy. And also, there's a lot of people that don't like turkey because they say it can be very dry. I have quite a little trick here that I do to stop it going dry. So the stuffing helps, but then I have an added tip. It's not a trick, it's a tip to stop the turkey going dry. It's not hard to do, but anyway, I'll make the stuffing. We're going to do the stuffing, and then I'll show you the tip of how to stop it going dry. And it's so succulent, the turkey, when you do this. So yeah, if you've got any other tips what you need to do to keep it not going dry, let me know as well, because I just love to learn. I really do, I love to learn. Okay, for the tip, I'm going to just have to put this pan just on the stove like that, and I'll explain what's in there shortly. So I'm just going to turn that on so it's just starting. Okay, so here, I'll just move this out of the way, hope you can see. Okay, just get a nice spoon. I'm just going to wash my hands because I have touched all that meat, so raw meat. Right, so they're washed. So for the stuffing, I think stuffing is personal preference. You have to have a method, yes, but it's personal preference what you want to add, what for your taste. Now, for a Christmas stuffing, I know it's not Christmas, but we don't do Thanksgiving stuff. What I do for Christmas is this stuffing. So for so it's going to be my Thanksgiving stuffing now. So that's what it's been renamed, because like I said, we can definitely do this every year. I love it. I'm going to drive the kids mad because I'm just so excited about this. Anyway, so I've chopped already some pieces of celery. So I've just popped some little pieces of celery in there. I do love celery. So that's in there. And then, I don't know if you're going to like this or not, but this is what I do. So here, I have some cranberries. And I also, if you can see the cranberries there, the red cranberries there, I do a little bit of, I chopped some orange zest. So I just finely chopped the orange zest, which you can see in there, and also add some raisins and some mixed fruits. And what I do, this is another tip, which you can use anything really, but I use passion fruit. So I get some passion fruit and I take the innards of the passion fruit and add it to the mix. And now there's your passion fruit, can you see? And then I mix it in and I let that soak. So that's been soaking now for a good 2 hours in the passion fruit. So all your mixed fruits and your cranberries start to soak in the juices of the passion fruit, and it makes your stuffing so tasty. And it also helps with the moisture dryness issue of the turkey. So that's that. And there, I don't know if you haven't, I'm sure you've seen the passion. That is a passion fruit. It looks really old and dry, but it's not. That's what they look like. So that's a passion fruit there, and this is one cut open. Can you see there? Can you see all the beautiful juices there? Absolutely beautiful. So I'll just move that to one side so you can see, and all the juice that comes out. So that's absolutely stunning, it is. Okay, so I'm going to add the berries in there, like that. So they're in there. And also, as you can see, it's quite dark outside. So I know I'm interrupting what there is, I'll go back to this in a minute, but I have got up early to do this, to start preparing everything, because there is a lot going on. Also, I don't know if you know, in the UK, we change our time zones. So twice a year, we have to change our time zones by an hour. So in the fall, the clocks fall back 1 hour. In the spring, they spring forward. That's the way to remember it. I'm not sure if you do that in the US, but we do that in the UK. It can get very confusing. So in the fall, our clocks fall back 1 hour. In the spring, on a certain date, they fall forward an hour. And this was originally done years ago, 100 years ago, which was for the farmers. So that in the springtime, when the clocks spring forward, there's more daylight hours in the morning for them to do their farming. So that's why it's dark. It's not that early, but the clocks have fallen back because we're in the fall now. Okay, so back to this. So I've got the celery, I've got the mixed fruits with the cranberries, I've got the orange zest that I've chopped, and we've got the passion fruit in there. So that's all. That, I wish you were here. I really do wish you were here to smell this, because this is divine. It smells amazing. The passion fruit, it's just stunning. Really is stunning. Now also, I'm just going to put a little bit more of that in that's left in there. So here we have some walnuts. I always put a few walnuts in just to give it a crunch, the stuff, and I like to give it a crunch, not too many. So that's just 1 cupful. That's 1 cupful, measuring cup of walnuts. Also, the dried fruits with cranberries was 1 measuring cup. So you've got 1 measuring cup of the dried fruit, 1 measuring cup of the walnuts, and they're in there. Celery, I cut 3 sticks of celery, and the passion fruit was 2 passion fruits. So that's all mixing in beautifully now. So that's mixing in there. And then, just to give it a little bit of, to hold it, to bind it, sorry, is some breadcrumbs. That's 1 cup of breadcrumbs. And that goes in there. And that starts to combine, you see now? See, that starts to combine, so it can actually be a stuffing. So that's looking nice, and it does, it smells so beautiful. And all those flavours absorb into the turkey. And also then I had 1 egg. These are from my chickens. I know I say that every time, but these are from my little chicks, which that was laid yesterday. So I'll put that there. So I'm just going to add the egg, because the egg just combines it a little bit. So there we've got a stunning, it really is stunning stuffing. How pretty does it look? It smells divine, it really does. So here we go. Here we go. So what I'm going to do now, move those to one side, is I've got the turkey here, as you can see, the turkey crown, and I'm just going to lift this up, and I'm just going to start to stuff. I'll just lift it up like that so you can see. So if you had a turkey, it'd be a lot easier. I will do another, I'll do a Christmas video for you and do this with the turkey and just show you where it goes with the turkey. So you just push this down. You can do it with your hands. I think it's easier with your fingers, and you just push it all in like that. And you do some more and just keep it going in, and then you wrap it round. So we keep filling it as much as you can get in. There we go. And then the rest of it, I just put in a little small loaf tin, and I just put it and roast it as an extra on the side. So that's what you need to do with the leftovers. So you've got that in there, so you've got your stuffing in there, all nice, and then you just tuck the loose part of the skin in there so it holds it in when it's cooking. So yeah, so we'll put this in a loaf tin, and we'll make an extra side of with the stuffing to go with the Thanksgiving dinner. I'm just going to wash my hands again because I've just touched that, and I'm mixing meat. Rinse them off. Okay. And then what I do with my turkey is I get the streaky bacon and I start to wrap the streaky bacon over the top, as you can see. So I just layer it like this. Here we go, and that's looking pretty. Some people might use a cocktail stick to hold the streaky bacon in place, but I find it stays. I just tuck it under, I do, and you can put as much on as you feel nice, and also that keeps the moisture in as well, adding the bacon on top. Okay, so that's got a nice lot of streaky bacon there on the top. It's pretty, very pretty, and it's nice as well for it all to look very pretty when you serve it all. So there you go. Okay, so now here's for the tip to keep it moist. Just move those out of the way. Rinse my hands again. So what I do to keep the turkey moist, so it doesn't dry up, and I really, if you do this, please try this and let me know, because it really does work. If the people who are always a bit of a naysayers about turkey and it's dry, if you do this, please do it and let me know, because you'll just change how you feel about turkey, because it's so juicy when you do it like this. So it depends on how big your turkey is. You can use a bigger pan, but what I do is I get a pan and I melt some butter, probably about one small slab of butter, so maybe half a pound of butter goes in there, if you can see. Can't see, show there, you can see. So the melted butter's in there. So you melt the butter, and then you can get any wine, but a nice white wine, not nice, it's just the trade wine. It doesn't have to be an expensive make, it's just some wine. This is a Sauvignon Blanc, and you add this to the butter. So you're going to use, so there we go, so I've added that in now to the butter. I'm going to get my thing and I'm going to give it a little stir. So here we go, so you can see. So that's all in there, and that's what you do next. So I'll just move that to one side, I'll move this. And what you do next, get your turkey, and you get a cheesecloth. So you just get a traditional cheesecloth, can you see? And you soak in the butter and the wine, the melted butter and the wine, you soak your cheesecloth, and then you wrap, you see, you wrap your turkey in your cheesecloth. It's really such a simple tip, but it so works. So here we go. So that is your turkey wrapped in your cheesecloth. Now all those, the butter and the wine is going to soak through. And then you put this in the oven. I'm not going to do this now because I'm waiting for Millie and James. But you put this in the oven and you cook your turkey. Depending, your cooking times will change to what your size is. So I can't really say the cooking times. But I start my turkey off on about 180. So you don't want it too high because you don't want to speed up that process of drying it out when you don't need to. So I have it on 180 and obviously go on the cooking times of the size of your turkey or your turkey crown. And then what I do is every 20 minutes I baste the turkey with the cheesecloth still on. So I use this, and you get a baster and you just go into the oven and baste, and you do that every 20 minutes, plenty on. And then 20 minutes before your turkey's ready, so whatever your cooking time is, 20 minutes before, you remove the cheesecloth, you baste again without the cheesecloth on, and then it just crisps up all your bacon. Your turkey's finished, and it's absolutely delicious, and it's not dry at all. So I can't wait for your comments if you try that. So it's just an ordinary cheesecloth, and it's just the butter and your wine, and you just keep basting, then take the cheesecloth off 20 minutes before, and baste again, and it's just absolutely perfect. Okay, I know I keep washing my hands, but touching a lot of things. So that's the turkey. So we've got the gammon on the go. We've got the turkey ready to go in the oven. So that's to one side. And now we've got some pigs in blankets. Oh, we've got the pork as well. We've got the pork all prepared. And now, I don't know if you do pigs in blankets, but I make pigs in blankets. So I just get a mini sausage. I've made these. And I cut half a rasher of streaky bacon in half. So I just use half for one of the little sausages. And I wrap, you can see, I wrap the bacon around the sausage like that. Okay, and this is another tip that I do with the pigs in blankets, something a little bit different. I do try, and I just love, I do love cooking. I love cooking because I love cooking for the family and feeding everyone. I'm a feeder. So with the pigs in blankets, when they're made, what I do is I chop some orange slices, quite thick. You need them thick. They have to be thick like that. Thick orange slices. You see, put them in your roasting tray, your orange slices. Put that back there. And then you place your pigs in blankets on top, and you see, of your orange slices. So as this is roasting in the oven, because they're going to go in the oven to roast, the orange from the orange slices oozes into the sausages and the bacon. So I'm just going to quickly pop those on there like that. Then I'm going to show you the next part of it. But this, it just so delicious, so different and so delicious. It's just something a little bit different. And with it being Thanksgiving and we're doing something a little bit special, it's just so nice. So I know I go on a lot with all the recipes I do, but I just like to make them a little bit different. So they're still comfort foods, but it's just a little special tips. So there you go. So you see, there's placed, I put 2 on each slice, but it depends on the size of your oranges in the dish and how many you're cooking for again. But there we go. So they're there, and then got a few extras, so I'll just pop those to the side because the juice will still run over. And then what I do then, so once I've done that, I get some maple syrup. This is another tip. I mean, if you don't like maple syrup, obviously don't do this, but or oranges, but it's just, you can just roast them on their own. And I drizzle the maple syrup over the pigs in blankets like this. So we just, you know, and that's plentiful as well. You know, you want to really coat them. So there we go. So the maple syrup's on. So you can see that glistening, and that gives them a shine, a taste, and they're going to go in the oven. So the juices of the oranges will come up. You've got your maple syrup on top, you've got your bacon, you've got your oranges, and you've got your maple syrup on top, and your sausage, which is a nice pork sausage, your mini ones, and wrapped in your streaky bacon. Oh, the flavours are just gorgeous. So I'm so excited for your comments on this if you try to cook this at home, because I'm just so keen to for you to share with me your Thanksgiving comfort foods that you make and different tips and recipes. And you don't have to be a professional cook to do this. These are really simple, quick recipes. It's not, they really are. So I'll put there then, ready to go in the oven. Now I've made already done these. I've made Yorkshire puddings because these are traditional Yorkshire puddings because I've already done a video for you on how to make Yorkshire puddings. So I always make my Yorkshire puddings because Gran taught me to make them. So these are authentic and you'll see in the Yorkshire pudding video, I use Gran's baking tins. She's not with us anymore, unfortunately, because I think she'd be about 110 now. But anyway, I use her tins. And what you do, just quickly, just to tell you, you put some oil or lard in your Yorkshire pudding tins. You have to get it very, very hot. And then for your mixture for Yorkshire puddings, to make about 4, so I've got 8 here, so you double up. But to make probably 4 large ones like that, you need 200 grams of plain flour. Sorry, ignore that, that was wrong. 130 grams of plain flour, 200 grams of water and an egg, and you just combine it all and whisk it. Now Gran did tell me once you've whisked the Yorkshire pudding mixture, you should let it stand in the fridge for an hour before you actually put it in your Yorkshire pudding tins. So once your Yorkshire pudding tins, your sizzling, it's got to be really hot. So when you pour the mixture in, it has to sizzle. That's what gives it the rise. And yeah, just pour the mixture in and you hear it sizzle, and then you just cook them for probably about 35-40 minutes on a medium to hot heat. I'd do them at about 190. You don't want them to burn. I put them in the middle of your oven about 190, but you need the heat to make them rise. If you have your oven too low, they won't rise, they'll be flat. So there you go. So there's the Yorkshire puddings. I've also got ready some cranberry sauce. I haven't made this, but this is some cranberry jelly to go with the delicious foods that we've cooked. I love cranberry jelly, so it's just a traditional thing that I think is really nice with turkey. So there we go. Also, I have prepared, which I will show you as we go later, is I'm going to make some traditional mashed potatoes, but I'm going to add soft cheese, some garlic and some breadcrumbs on top just for some crunch, so, and an egg. So that's how I do mine. I just do a little bit tastier, a little bit more special with it being Thanksgiving. So we boil the potatoes, mash them, add butter, soft cheese, crushed garlic, just crush a garlic clove, crush it. I've done that there. I'll show you when I do it. I will go through showing you as I cook this. There you go. So that's the crushed garlic. You add that and then you sprinkle some breadcrumbs on top, and you just finish them off in the oven, and it's just like got a crunch. You've got the garlic, got the soft cheese. You can also add parmesan, but I don't have any parmesan, but you could actually sprinkle some parmesan cheese on top. That's really nice as well, but I'm not doing that today. So there we go. So that is all our mains done. I haven't done the vegetables yet because I'm waiting for Millie. Millie's going to do the vegetables with me. So we've got carrots and we've got sprouts. We've got a lot going on there, but Millie's going to do that with me. Now for the dessert, I'm going to make a traditional apple flan. Now if you look at my pecan pie recipe, my apple pie recipe that's online, it'll show you how to make the pastry, because this is a flaky pastry, but I didn't want to do that now because it'd take too long. So, and I didn't want to bore you because there's a lot going on. So I hope you're not bored. I hope you're enjoying this. So here's the pastry, look, that I've made. You can see it's just homemade pastry. It's a little bit rough around the edges, but that's homemade. And it's in a flan tin. And so just very quickly to recap on the making of flaky pastry, you add your butter and your flour. So but all the details of that is actually in the apple pie recipe and the pecan pie, and also the trick of when you make your pastry, when you roll it out onto your greaseproof paper, then lift your greaseproof paper and put it in your tin. It just makes it so much easier than trying to juggle with taking it off a surface and it breaking up. But that all shows you, especially in the pecan pie, it shows you how to do that. So please have a look at that if you're interested in that. So here we go. So it's quite simple really. It's just my apples. I've just chopped the apples and I'm just going to line very nicely the dish, as you can see, with the apples or the pastry on the pastry. This is very yummy. It's so simple to make and it's just so tasty. It's a lovely dessert. And I've also, I haven't made this, but I've got some lovely vanilla ice cream to have with this, because I thought that would be really, really tasty. So you just overlap the apples like this. They might go a little bit, I prepared these about 10 minutes ago, so they have gone they're going a little bit of a tinge on them, but they're still fine, absolutely fine. They are. So you just put your apples on like that. You can make them neat or in an order, or whatever you feels right for you. But that's going to look really pretty when it's done. I'll just quickly finish that. And use plenty of apples as well. These are apples from we've got some apple trees, so I've picked these apples from the apple trees. So these are our fresh own apples, but all apples are perfect. So here we go. Right, so that's my apples in. That's looking so pretty. So there you go. So as you see, all the apples are laid out like that. And then what I do is I just simply add some brown sugar on top, which is really nice. And this is personal choice again. So you don't want your apples sour, you want them sweet. So it's a nice lot of, and it just makes it. And also, if you add the sugar like this, and then I haven't got that out, a little bit of butter on top, a little bit of soft butter so it melts on top, and then a little bit of cinnamon, and it makes it into a caramel. So with the brown sugar and the butter, which I'm just going to pop on in a moment, and then add some cinnamon, it just melts in. It makes that into a caramel base. So it's really like an apple tart, caramel apple tart, this. I'll just get the butter now and show you. You don't need much. You don't need much. You just put, it doesn't have to be melted. So I'm just got to get the knife out of here. So it doesn't have to be melted. Well, you don't want it melted, to be fair, because if you did melted, it wouldn't be good, because it'd make your pastry all soggy. So don't do that melted. So I just put a little bit on top, and it just starts to ooze in. And with the brown sugar, it makes it into a caramel base. Oh, it's stunning. It really is stunning to taste. So you don't want too much, just a few tiny little pieces, because if not, your pastry will go soggy. So don't do much, just a few. And then I add a little bit of cinnamon, just a tiny sprinkling, not too much, on the top. There we go. And that will go in the oven and bake. So you've got your little bits of butter. There's not much there. Don't use, like I said, don't use melted. And then you've got your apple halves, you've got your homemade flaky pastry, but a pie crust flaky pastry. More is just as good. We don't always have time, so it's fine. It's fine to do either way, whatever works for you. So here we go, and then that will make a nice caramelly base. So that's like an apple tart with a caramelly base. So there we go. So I think that's everything for now, and I'll come back shortly with Millie to do the vegetables, and James, and then also making the creamy mashed potatoes, and show you the gammon. We'll get the gammon going once that's been cooking for about 4 to 5 hours, and then we'll start to do the next stage of the Thanksgiving dinner. So thank you again, and I'll be back shortly. Hi everyone, it's been a busy few hours cooking. So we're at the stage now where the joint of the gammon that I'm going to make a honey roast gammon joint is now been cooking in the orange and in the bay leaves for the last, well, about 4.5 hours. So I'm going to get it out now and do the finishing touches and pop it in the oven. I'm just going to turn the oven on actually, just to preheat it. There. So I'm just going to get that over now so you can have a look. Right. So I put the lid on because it had to simmer. So I'll just remove that. Okay, and look, here you go. It smells absolutely delicious. I wish you could smell it and share it with me. Smell the smells and all the aromas. Absolutely gorgeous. You can smell the bay leaves, the orange juice, the gammon itself you can smell, and the salt from the gammon. So I'm going to take that out now. just need a fork and maybe 2 forks to actually remove it. So I'm going to just lift it out. Oh, it's so, actually parts of it's falling off already. So I'm going to move it into there. There's a little bit of meat falling off there because it's so tender. And there's the oranges. So pop those in there. Just grab that little piece of meat. It's a little bit, and I'm just going to move that to one side for a second. Okay, so here we have it. So this is the joint once it's been. Can you see how tender it is? You can see how like a piece has fallen off there already. It's a bit like the chuck roast, you know, in the beef, it gets so tender. But anyway, so that's like that now. I'm going to just add some of the sauce into this for it to cook. Just get a ladle. So just put the ladle. So what I'm going to do is, with the sauce that's left, just ladle some over, just so it keeps the moisture whilst it's cooking in the oven, because what we're trying to do now, there we go, so that should be okay now. So I've probably put 4 ladles full of the juice in there. We don't want any more really, because it is tender enough. So now that we need to do is get this top bit all nice and crisp and crunchy and flavoursome. So what I'm going to do now is drizzle over the top some maple syrup. So that'll go over, and that's just sitting nicely in the groove. So we just layer it on, and you can see it how it just sits. It's lovely. Can you see it how it's sitting lovely in the grooves? Can you see the darker pieces there? So we're going to pop that in the oven now on a high heat for about 20 minutes, and that'll just crozzle and crisp off the top. So it'll be absolutely delicious, and you'll taste all the maple syrup with the oranges and the bay leaves and the gammon itself. So that's going to go in the oven for 20 minutes. And I put it up quite high in the oven. Okay, so that's in there. It's going in for 20 minutes. So we put that to one side. So as we did earlier, we were doing the potatoes. So I boiled the potatoes that you saw us preparing earlier. I put a little bit of salt when I boiled them, just a tiny little bit of salt, and then I've mashed them. So here they are, all beautiful mashed. Can you see how creamy they are there? They're beautiful. So a tip, I don't know if you do this, I know you can, so I mash them with a masher, but then I add about 30 grams of butter and 1 measuring cup of milk. So that's what I've added in there to mash them. So, and they're so creamy. If you look at that, they're beautiful. No lumps, just beautiful. So I mash them really, really well. But this is a chef told me this trick years ago. So then once you've done that with the masher, you put them in a mixer. Do you know, like a big black mixer, like the Kenwood mixer? Like you can see that on the side. My mixer I've got out because I've been doing this. And you put them in the mixer bowl and you use the whisk attachment and you just whisk them. And it makes them all creamy and gets rid of any final lumps. I know you can use sieve as well, like a mashed potato sieve strainer that it all minces through. But that's quite labour intensive. So this way, you just put them in your mixer bowl, you get them whisking away, and also it makes them so creamy, really fluffy, creamy, and gets rid of all the lumps. So that's a little tip. I don't know if you do that already, let me know if you do. I only learnt this a few years ago, but it's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I've got my mash there, looking very beautiful, loving it. I love mash. And I've got my garlic, so I've got my crushed garlic clove there. So I'm going to add this into there. So I'm just going to mix that round like this, and then I need a spoon for this. I've got some soft cream cheese. You see the cream cheese? There, so I'm going to add the soft cream cheese. This is with it being a Thanksgiving dinner, we're doing a special, extra special mashed potato today, so I'll put that to one side. So I'm going to mix that in. See how much creamier it's going now with the cream cheese. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, look. Really nice. Just going to try a little bit now before we go any further. That's gorgeous. So beautiful with the cream cheese. So what we're going to do now, I've got my baking dish. I'm going to transfer the mash. I'll use it with this spoon. Transfer the mash into this nice little baking dish. So here we go. So we've got the garlic in, the butter, we've got the milk in, we've got the soft cream cheese. It's got the salt in from the potatoes when we boiled them. We don't need any more salt really from other than what we use when we boiled. So we're just putting that in. They're looking beautiful. So just scrape the bowl, we don't want to waste any. And I think as well what the beauty of doing a big dinner like this is that you can use the leftovers for the next few days after. So you've got your tea for quite a few days after, which is really exciting, maybe 2 days after. So that's looking just beautiful. So what I'm going to do is just spread them out like that, because now with these what I do is I roast them off in the oven, crisp them up, and to do that, move that out of the way. I then have, I said I wasn't going to use Parmesan cheese, but I did have some, so I'm going to use it. Oh, sorry, my hair's getting in the way. So you see I've got my Parmesan cheese here, and then I have 1 cup of breadcrumbs, 1 measuring cup of breadcrumbs. So I add that to my Parmesan cheese. I just mix it round like this. Oops, you can't see, so I'm mixing it round like this. And then I sprinkle it over the mash, the cheesy garlic mash, like this. So it gives it a top coat. So I just make sure it goes evenly over. So here we go. And this is one of the recipes that I read about on the internet for Americans Thanksgiving. So it is one of your recipes, this. It's a lovely recipe. I've not actually done exactly this recipe, but I've done something similar. But I've stuck to the recipe, your recipe, because we really want to taste it and try the proper, authentic, traditional American way. So that looks so pretty, really pretty. So that's going to form like a cheesy breadcrumby crust. You see that there? Beautiful. The mash underneath. So that's going to go in the oven. I'll put that in a moment when I put everything else in. So now we've got our mash, cheesy mash with the garlic, with the Parmesan topping and the breadcrumb topping. We've got the gammon that's now in the oven, and then James and Millie are going to come and we're going to prepare vegetables and cook all the turkey and everything, and the pork and everything really, because we've got a lot going on, haven't we? Oh, and just to let you know, I'm going to make, well, Millie's going to help me do this. She's going to make, so for the vegetables, we're going to make a butternut squash, red onion with some tomatoes roasted. Sounds delicious, with some cranberry. And then we're going to do on another dish Brussels sprouts with carrots, with a nice dressing as well. So that'll be really tasty. So Millie's going to do that, and James when they come. So, but what I have done with the butternut squash is I've blanched the butternut squash already. I've just given it a blanch because we're going to be roasting this, but it's always good to blanch it off first. So it just takes, you fill your pan with boiling water and you just blanch it, so that's like a simmer for about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes tops, because butternut squash, I know you've probably cooked with this before, it can be quite tough. So you don't really want to start from a standing start roasting it if you haven't blanched it. So I've just blanched it off like that. So it's not cooked, it's just a little bit soft. Tiny bit soft, it's just started the cooking process. So we do that and then we add it to our roast. Anyway, I've just done that for Millie and James, and they're going to take over and I can have a rest and put my feet up and enjoy. So yes, but I will help them as well. And I think they're going to make another dessert as well, which is going to be a nice surprise. So that's quite exciting. Anyway, thank you so far. It's going to be a lot of food, a lot of sharing, and it's going to last for a few days. And like I said, I just love the whole Thanksgiving theme. Okay, so I've just got out of the oven about 10 minutes ago, the ham. So it's looking delicious. Well, the gammon, the honey roast gammon. Oh, it's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So what I've done is I've got it, I'm just going to show it you there. And I've just sliced it. Can you see how tender it is inside? Because it's been cooking in the orange. and with the bay leaves for 4.5 hours. That's what I did it for. And it's just nice and crispy. It might be a little bit, see, that's just crispy on the top. Might be a little bit well done, but on the top, but it's so nice. It's just very crispy, beautiful. So I think that's been cooked lovely. That's turned out really well. So I've just sliced it, and that you can actually gently warm that through if you wanted, but it's just lovely to eat in slices, you know, cold really as well. So yeah, so you can either have it warm through, but I will probably gently warm that through in the oven, just very gently though, because you don't want to go and dry it out after all that work. So yes, so that's the honey roast gammon. And please let me know if you make it and how it turns out, because it is so delicious. When you taste it, the flavours are wow. They really are wow, with the orange and the bay leaves. It's stunning, totally stunning. So we've got the turkey here that's we've prepared, and I'm just going to baste it again with the butter and the wine. I'm just going to give it another baste, because I'm just going to pop this in the oven now. Millie and James will be on the way with Archie. So it's very exciting, it really is. So I'm just going to give that another baste there, pop that back on. And then I preheated the oven, whoops, sorry, and I'm just going to pop that in now. So I'm not going to put on the top shelf, it's just going to go on a medium middle shelf. And we're going to pop that in, and you don't want it on too high a heat. Let me just double check. So yeah, so we've got it on about 180, and that's going to cook now for about an hour. It's only a small joint, so about an hour and a half that will go for. It's not a joint, it's a turkey crown. So that's just going to go for about an hour and a half, and then that should be ready. But what I'm going to do is keep basting it, and then every 20 minutes keep basting it, and then 25 minutes before it's due to be finished and cooked, I'm going to take the cheesecloth off and then baste again, and just turn the oven up slightly so it crisps that lovely bacon and some of the skin underneath the turkey crown. So that should be beautiful, wonderful. So also I've just decided to do these for Archie as a bit of fun. I've never done them before, it was just a bit of an idea I had. So what I've done is, the mashed potato that you saw me making, I just took some out separately and I've made them into little round discs, and then I've covered them in breadcrumbs, and then I've just fried them off in a little bit of butter, and this is how they turn out. They're not very equal, but see there? So it's just mashed potato with some bread, just dipped in breadcrumbs, and then you just fry them off. So they're all nice and squidgy inside with the mashed potato, and it's got a really nice tasty crisp. I'm going to make them with these skewers into, well, lollipops. So there you go. So the little lollipops for him. Change the end there, that's probably better, it's a bit safer. Yep, so they're just lovely little mashed potato lollipops. I don't know if that's going to work or they're going to slide off, but I'm just going to make a few more. And there you go. Yeah, so that works, see? So just little mashed potato lollipops, I thought that'd be quite fun for him. Yeah, because for children you have to try and make it a little bit more fun when they're eating. Just something a bit different, just to get them intrigued with the food, and he's only little, so yeah, so I'm going to say that's what I'm doing there. So we've got these lovely little mashed potatoes wrapped in breadcrumbs and just fried off lollipops for Archie. But that's a nice trick to do, I think, for children, just to do something a little bit different. So I'll just pop these others on here now, like that. And also I was going to say about Thanksgiving, and I know I spoke about this earlier, when I started cooking, but it's just so wonderful. And what I like to do is, it's good to be thankful for everything, as much as you can. I do at night when I go to bed, I do give thanks, I really do. I've done that ever since I was really young. I'm getting older now, but I always have. So I go to bed, I don't do it as a thing I have to do, I just do. It's just like an automatic, it's just an automatic thing I do. So I just give thanks for what's happened in the day, and my family and friends, and for people to be healthy and that they are healthy. And I just think that's so, it just makes me feel fulfilled inside, and just to be grateful. Just be so grateful for what we have. And like I've said before in previous videos, everyone has problems and issues, and to be fair, that's where your family and friends come in. And I know everyone has family, and I understand that, but friends can be family. Friends are family as well. So yeah, so we are very, very lucky, and also we're grateful to be able to have lovely food. And you know, I'm really grateful to do these videos and for you all to watch and to be a little part of your community in America. And I just feel so grateful that you welcome me, and like I've said before, your comments are so gracious and so lovely, and that really does fill my heart. It really does, and thank you. So yes, thank you to you all for embracing me, and you know, letting me create these videos. I mean, I don't do it perfect all the time, but I'm just a comfort, just a mum, grandma, home comfort food cook. That's all I do. I don't even know I could say I was a cook. I just try. I enjoy it. I love it. I love it. So that's for being grateful. I don't know, I told you about in the other videos that I worked with Dolly Parton in America a few years ago now with the Imagination Library. Such an amazing charity, the Imagination Library. You should look it up. It's to really promote child literacy, so it is wonderful. And I worked with her in America, and David Dodser and her director on that project, but you'll catch more of that in the other videos. But what Dolly Parton as well, I don't know if you know, she's just so gracious. She's a very thankful person as well, and so gracious and so lovely. And I don't know if you know the song Coat of Many Colours. All her music is based on actual truth life events, a lot of it is. And Coat of Many Colours, when she was a child, they didn't have any money really, and her mum had to sew her coat together with different pieces of rags that they had, and she did get teased at school. She told me this story. So yeah, so we've all got humble stories, and you know, but with friends and family, and giving thanks and being all together and supporting each other, you get through all these things. So anyway, so back to the cooking now. I just wanted to say that Millie and James will be here, and they'll be like, oh goodness, she's talking again. So. But they do love me, and I love them. They're so respectful and wonderful. I'm very lucky, very grateful. So yeah, so those are little arches, little lollipops. Just got to be careful of the ends of the sticks, but we'll watch him with those. So there we go. So there's little arches, little lollipops. There we go. I don't think he's going to eat all those. He might just eat one, but I'm sure James and Millie and James' stepdad will eat some of those as well. So I'm just going to put those over here. And we're not going to put any of the other things in the oven yet, because we've got the pigs in blankets, we've got the cheesy mashed potato with the parmesan and the breadcrumbs, just to recap. I've got the Yorkshire puddings that I've made, and like I said, there is a video on making Yorkshire puddings coming out, so you'll get the full details of that, using my grand's Yorkshire pudding dishes that are really old, so that's a really nice video to watch. And we've got the vegetables, which Millie and James are going to do. They're just the roast vegetables, and they're going to make a dessert as well. So hopefully they'll be here soon. The turkey's cooking now. So yeah, oh, and I forgot to show you when we did the, you saw me making the apple caramel flan. So this was the apple caramel flan with the butter and the brown sugar. So let me show you how this has turned out, because this is a really stunning piece to make, and I got this recipe. It is American recipe, this. So here you go. Can you see? It's not runny at all. So what's happened is, with the sugar and the butter, it's all concentrated now in the bottom and turned it into a caramel. So when you slice into it, you've got your apple with your cinnamon on top, and then you've got like a caramel base. Really, really nice. So we're going to have that with some vanilla ice cream. But that is quite an easy dessert to make. Very quick, very easy. Like I said, you don't have to make your flaky pastry. You can just shop by one. It's fine. We're all busy. I just like to do it. I do find it okay to do, so I do it. But yeah, so it's such a simple dessert, and look how beautiful it is. So I'm going to gently warm that through as well. That's just cooled now. But when what I do, so when I do a meal, when I take the meats out and we're all eating, I just pop the dessert back in, if it's just to warm through gently. So by the time you've finished, it's just nice and warm. So that's a nice tip. I'm sure you know all these things anyway, but just in case, I just thought I'd tell you my little tips. So I'm going to put that there for now, and then we'll go on to the next thing. I'm just going to get the turkey out and just baste it again. So you'll be able to see how the cheesecloth goes. It's all fine though. It's meant to look like this. I'll just get this out for you. I'm going to use my lovely American oven gloves that I love. Okay, so this is with the cheesecloth on. It's meant to look like that, so don't worry. It's meant to look like that, and don't forget we're going to take this off 20 minutes before the end of cooking. So I'm just going to get the pan with the white wine in and the butter, and we're just going to baste it again like this. Just keeps that cheesecloth really nice and moist again. Honestly, it makes such a difference to the turkey. It really does. You won't have a dry turkey. It'll be absolutely beautiful. So there, that's all nicely basted. So pop that back. Just use the gloves just so we don't burn ourselves, and put this back to cook a little bit longer. Okay, that's gone in. Brilliant. Okay, what I thought of doing whilst I'm just waiting for Millie and James and Archie, I've never made these before, so this could be a completely disaster, and I don't have the moulds, but I just thought it'd be quite nice as an extra little dessert, and an extra little dessert for Archie. I've made him his little lollipops, mashed potato lollipops, so I just thought I'd make these, and everyone loves these in our family. Madeleines, they're French little pastry. Right, so I'm making the madeleines. Like I've just said, I've never made them before, just for little Archie, so we'll see. Well, for everyone really, but we love them. So do you have those in America? The little French, like spongy pastries? Could be a disaster. I don't have the moulds. It's much easier if you have the moulds. So if sort of the mixture works, I might get the moulds and try and make them properly. Well, I hope this will be properly actually, but I don't know. They might just be a disaster, so we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so I've got my bowl here. So what you need to make these is you need 1.5 cups of purpose flour, so that's in there. 2/3 of granulated sugar, so that's in there. Then 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, so that's going to go in there. Okay, that's in there, and then we just mix all that round like this in the bowl. Make sure it's all nice. Okay, so that's all mixed in, and then we need another bowl. Other bowl, and my eggs. We need three large eggs. So I've got 2 there. Don't roll and break. And let's get another size one. So you need to use 3 large eggs. So I don't know how much quantity this makes, but I think it'll make a few of the biscuits. So I've got these 3 large eggs going in. So they're in there. Just put those to one side. I'll just get a little fork to mix. So you've got to beat these quite a lot till the frothing. So let's give these a really good whisk. Coming nicely, see, so beautiful and yellow, the eggs, you know, because they've come fresh from the chickens. So lucky really, that's another thing to be grateful for. So I've given those a, it said the eggs need to be quite fluffy, so maybe a hand mixer would have been better, but anyway, it's good exercise, it's good exercise. Just beat them a bit longer. There we go. I really like this to work. Anyway, it's a little bit adventurous because I've never done this before. I just read the recipe earlier. I just saw it and thought, oh, that'd be quite nice to make, fun to make, but I don't know how it's going to work without the moulds, but I've improvised because that's what you have to do. I'll show you shortly once I've done this. So I think they are a little bit fluffy, so let's hope that works. So put that to one side. So then you need to add some butter. Now it's 7 ounces of melted butter. It's 200 grams, which for us, but 7 ounces for you of butter. You melt the butter and then you have to let it go cool. So I've melted the butter already and then I've just popped it in the refrigerator just to go cool. So I'm just going to get that now. So that's the butter that's melted, and that's really nice and cool now, if you can see there. So that's nice and cool. So I'm going to add that to the eggs there, like it said. So I've put my butter in. And I think the reason why it has to be cool, I think it would curdle if not. I think it would, and that would be not nice. So that's, I think that's the reason. So that's gone in, and then you have to do 2/3 of a measuring cup of milk. So that's gone in. That's looking really nice, and it's not curdled. So I think that's why. I think if you put it in warm, curdle. So don't put it in warm. I mean, I don't know. I've not made this before, so it could be a complete disaster, and you'll be commenting, which hopefully will, to say you don't do it like that. So, and then I need to add. So I've got my mixture there of the baking powder, sugar and the purpose flour, and add the eggs to this. There we go. So I got this recipe off, I saw it this morning on a cooking show. When I wake up, I like a cup of tea. Now I like my tea. So I was having a cup of tea in bed. I thought, well, start the day with a cup of tea, as I do. And there was a cooking show on, so I just saw it and they were making these. So I thought, oh, I'll might, if I've got time, make some of those later. So it said not to over mix. It said whatever you do, don't over mix. So I'm gently mixing, as you can see, just to make sure everything's in. It is quite runny, this mixture, so I don't know without the moulds if this is going to work, but hey ho. They're going to be funny shapes because I don't have any moulds for these, but we'll see. But if it sort of works, I will get the moulds. It might do, because I want to show you what I'm going to use. I had to be creative. I thought, what can I use? So I've not over mixed it. I'm just going to have a, whoops. Right, okay, so that's nicely mixed. Can you see? So it's like, it's very smooth. Very smooth. It's not it's just like a cake mixture really, but just a little bit different measurement. So whoops, I've lost my spoon in there. Take that out. So I'll move these out of the way. And this is what I'm going to use. Okay, so this is for making sourdough bread. I do make bread. I'll have to do a video on bread. I make sourdough, normal bread. I do like making bread. The reason I started doing that is because James's stepdad is diabetic, so the shop bought bread is full of a lot of sugar, so I make a special wholemeal bread for him. So that's why I've started to learn to make bread. I did, just to help him really, because he's very lovely. You'll really like him. So what I've done is I've used one of the baguette bread molds, and I put some greaseproof paper on. So I'm hoping when I put the mixture on, they sit, do you know, in the groove, because I haven't got a madeleine mould. So I'm going to move that to one side. I'm just going to wipe that up, because if not, I'm going to get a larger spoon. It's going to get quite messy. Right, we've got a lot going on here today, but it's very good. I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. Okay, that's there. So like I said, we might have to abandon this, or I don't know, but we'll give it a go. So I'm just going to put, so I'm hoping because it's got the little groove in, I think that's working. It doesn't hold them together, but I don't know if it'll work when it goes in the oven, because they might spread a bit more. But I'm only going to do those few for now. They might be flatter ones. I'm just going to pop them in the oven now and see what happens. I don't know, have a look. They're going quite wide, but they'll be just very long madeleines. It won't be the normal ones, but anyway, we'll see. But if they merge into, well, if they merge into one, I can just split them. So I can put them in here like this. Now it's really good because those have to be cooked on a temperature of 180, and the turkey's on at 180, so it all works. They all can go in the oven at the same time, so that's quite good. So fingers crossed, let's hope they work. And what I think I might do, I'm going to try and see if I can find some chocolate, melt some chocolate. And I thought that'd be quite a nice dessert for Archie to have some madeleines, if they work, French madeleines and some chocolate. They also said, if you want your madeleines a bit crispier, now these, I haven't done it like this, but if you want them a little bit crispy and a bit toastier, browned, when you melt your butter, over melt it. It's not so it burns, but it becomes a bit more on the, not, it can't be burnt, but when it's melted, just a bit more, so it cooks it a little bit more. And they said you can tell by the smell, because the smell changes. So you take, don't go, we can't burn it, but I think there's a fine line between it overcooking and it being just right. But I didn't do that because I thought that was a bit too much for today when I've never even done this before. There's a lot of things I've not done before today. So anyway, I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and let's see what they're like, because that'd be quite fun. So I'll melt some chocolate and in anticipation that they're going to work. So it's the first time of making madeleines if it works. So yes. Right, so I'm making the madeleines. Like I've just said, I've never made them before, just for little Archie, so we'll see. Well, for everyone really, but we love them. So do you have those in America? The little French, like, spongy pastries? Could be a disaster. I don't have the moulds. It's much easier if you have the moulds. So if the mixture works, I might get the moulds and try and make them properly. Well, I hope this will be properly, actually, but I don't know. They might just be a disaster, so we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so I've got my bowl here. So what you need to make these is you need 1.5 cups of purpose flour, so that's in there, 2/3 of granulated sugar, so that's in there, then 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, so that's going to go in there. Okay, that's in there, and then we just mix all that round like this in the bowl. Make sure it's all nice. Okay, so that's all mixed in. And then we need another bowl. Other bowl. And my eggs. We need three large eggs. So I've got 2 there. Don't roll and break. And let's get another size one. So you need to use 3 large eggs. So I don't know how much quantity this makes, but I think it'll make a few of the biscuits. So we've got these 3 large eggs going in. So they're in there. Just put those to one side. I'll just get a little fork to mix. So you've got to beat these quite a lot till the froth so let's give these a really good whisk. It's coming nicely. See, it's so beautiful and yellow, the eggs, you know, because they've come fresh from the chickens. So lucky, really. That's another thing to be grateful for. So I've given those a. It said the eggs need to be quite fluffy, so maybe a hand mixer would have been better, but anyway, it's good exercise, it's good exercise. So just beat them a bit longer. There we go. I really like this to work. Anyway, it's a little bit adventurous because I've never done this before. I just read the recipe earlier. I just saw it and thought, oh, that'd be quite nice to make, fun to make, but I don't know how it's going to work without the moulds, but I've improvised because that's what you have to do. I'll show you shortly once I've done this. So I think they are a little bit fluffy, so let's hope that works. So put that to one side. So then you need to add some butter. Now it's 7 ounces of melted butter. It's 200 grams, which for us, but 7 ounces of ounces for you of butter. You melt the butter and then you have to let it go cool. So I've melted the butter already and then I've just popped it in the refrigerator just to go cool. So I'm just going to get that now. So that's the butter that's melted and that's really nice and cool now, if you can see there. So that's nice and cool. So I'm going to add that to the eggs there, like it said. So I've put my butter in. And I think the reason why it has to be cool, I think it would curdle if not. I think it would, and that would be not nice. So that's, I think that's the reason. So that's gone in, and then you have to do 2/3 of a measuring cup of milk. So that's gone in. That's looking really nice. And it's not curdled. So I think that's why. I think if you put it in warm, curdle. So don't put it in warm. I mean, I don't know, I've not made this before, so it could be a complete disaster. And you'll be commenting, which hopefully will, to say you don't do it like that. So, and then I need to add, so I've got my mixture there of the baking powder, sugar and the purpose flour, and add the eggs to this. There we go. So I got this recipe off, I saw it this morning on a cooking show. When I wake up, I like a cup of tea. Now I like my tea. So I was having a cup of tea in bed. I thought, well, start the day with a cup of tea, as I do. And there was a cooking show on, so I just saw it and they were making these. So I thought, oh, I might, if I've got time, make some of those later. So it said not to over mix. It said, whatever you do, don't over mix. So I'm gently mixing, as you can see, just to make sure everything's in. It's quite runny, this mixture, so I don't know without the moulds if this is going to work, but hey ho. They're going to be funny shapes because I don't have any moulds for these, but we'll see. But if it sort of works, I will get the moulds. It might do, because I want to show you what I'm going to use. I had to be creative. I thought, what can I use? So I've not over mixed it. I'm just going to have a whoops. Right, okay, so that's nicely mixed. Can you see? So it's like, it's very smooth. It's very smooth. It's not it's just like a cake mixture really, but just a little bit different measurement. So whoops, I've lost my spoon in there. Take that out. So I'll move these out of the way. And this is what I'm going to use. Okay, so this is for making sourdough bread. I do make bread. I'll have to do a video on bread. I make sourdough, normal bread. I do like making bread. The reason I started doing that is because James's stepdad is diabetic, so the shop bought bread is full of a lot of sugar, so I make a special wholemeal bread for him. So that's why I've started to learn to make bread. I did. Just to help him, really, because he's very lovely. You'll really like him. So what I've done is I've used one of the baguette bread molds, and I put some greaseproof paper on. So I'm hoping when I put the mixture on, they sit, do you know, in the groove, because I haven't got a madeleine mould. So I'm going to move that to one side. I'm just going to wipe that up, because if not, so we'll get a larger spoon. It's going to get quite messy. Right, we've got a lot going on here today, but it's very good. I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. Okay, that's there. So like I said, we might have to abandon this, or I don't know, but we'll give it a go. So I'm just going to put, so I'm hoping because it's got the little groove in, I think that's working. It doesn't hold them together, but I don't know if it'll work when it goes in the oven, because they might spread a bit more. But I'm only going to do those few for now. They might be flatter ones. I'm just going to pop them in the oven now and see what happens. I don't know, have a look. They're going quite wide, but they'll be just very long madeleines. It won't be the normal ones, but anyway, we'll see. But if they merge into, well, if they merge into one, I can just split them. So I can put them in here like this. Now it's really good because those have to be cooked on a temperature of 180, and the turkey's on at 180, so it all works. They all can go in the oven at the same time, so that's quite good. So fingers crossed, let's hope they work. And what I think I might do, I'm going to try and see if I can find some chocolate, melt some chocolate. And I thought that'd be quite a nice dessert for Archie to have some madeleines, if they work, French madeleines and some chocolate. They also said, if you want your madeleines a bit crispier, now these, I haven't done it like this, but if you want them a little bit crispy and a bit toastier, browned, when you melt your butter, over melt it. It's not so it burns, but it becomes a bit more on the, not, it can't be burnt, but when it's melted, just a bit more, so it cooks it a little bit more. And they said you can tell by the smell, because the smell changes. So you take, don't go, we can't burn it, but I think there's a fine line between it overcooking and it being just right. But I didn't do that because I thought that was a bit too much for today when I've never even done this before. There's a lot of things I've not done before today. So anyway, I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and let's see what they're like, because that'd be quite fun. So I'll melt some chocolate and in anticipation that they're going to work. So it's the first time of making madeleines if it works. So yes, wonderful. Let me know if you've made any before, and yeah, and if it works, I'll get a mould. The madeleines are out of the oven. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right because I'm not French, but anyway, that's how I'm saying it. So let me know, I don't know. So here are the madeleines, and it sort of worked. Look, I'll hold one up. How beautiful is that? Beautiful. I mean, they're a bit of a different shape, but beautiful. They really are gorgeous. I'm going to try one. Well, can you see the fluffiness inside? So they're not as deep as a madeleine because I haven't got the mould. But beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, but you can see the fluffiness. So they're just a slightly larger, longer madeleine, but perfect. So try these and try and make them and let me know how you go on. And it's great when, you know, we don't have all the tools, we're not professional cooks, but if we can think of things to improvise with, like I did with the baking tray for the bread, you have to try these things. So that's how I'm going to finish that in a moment. What I'm going to do is melt the chocolate. So here, this is how Gran taught me to melt chocolate. Not to use the microwave. So you get a pan and you put water in, you boil the water, you put your chocolate in a bowl and you put it over the water and let the water boil so it doesn't touch the chocolate. It's sat in the bowl, your chocolate, and the water's underneath, and that melts your chocolate without burning it. So I don't know if you do it that way, let me know, but that's the way Gran taught me. So I'll let that start to melt. That's going to the end, so that's nicely melting off. And what I'm going to do is now, when I made the stuffing, when we stuffed the turkey with the leftovers, I said I'd make a little tray bake. Not a tray bake, a loaf tin bake of the leftovers, so that's in there. And what I've done is, what you have to do when you make it into a loaf tin, well, what I do anyway, I pack it really down tight. I use a spoon just to help it stay together. So I use a spoon and really push down and make it as compact as I can. As compact as I can. So you see there? So I let it cook off. I put a little knob of butter on as well, just a little piece. It just makes it very moist, keeps it moist as it's cooking, and it'll just soak into it, makes it even tastier. So I'm going to do that and put that in the oven for about 15-20 minutes, that's all, because there's no meat in it, this is just vegetables. So about 20 minutes, and then what I do is I take it out and let it cool. So I'm going to pop that in, and then I'm going to also pop in the pork. Sorry, I put a little ticky. So I'm going to put in the belly pork with the cracked pepper on top that we did earlier. So that's going to go in, and they're going to. I won't put the pigs in blankets in yet, but I will put those in shortly. Remember, they sat on the orange and the oranges and everything. Can you see with the oranges? So that should be beautiful. And it's got the maple syrup over the top. So I might actually, what I'll do is, before they go in, just as an extra, I'll put some more maple syrup on top. So that's going to go in now as well. So it's getting quite hot in there. That's going in there. And then the stuffing's going to go in. that's all in. So that's all coming together nicely, really good. Okay, so we're just waiting now for James and Millie, and then we'll be able to carry on with everything else. Oh, also I made a lovely beef gravy I have. So I've got a lovely beef gravy that I'll reheat when everything's ready. I like to be prepared, so I like to try and make things in advance where I can that can be gently reheated. But not everything, so all the meats will come out fresh, and you know we can't reheat those other than the gammon, but I do that with the roast gammon anyway. Okay, hi everyone, I'm going to now just get the turkey out of the oven and remove the cheesecloth, so just so you can see what it all looks like. Okay, so the cheesecloth should look like that, so don't panic, it's fine, that's how it should look like. So now we're going to take it off and just close that a moment and discard it. So here we go. Woo! It's not too hot either. You'd think it would be in a boiling oven, but you can see the steam coming off it. So here we go. So here's how it's looking, even under the cheesecloth. So it's look how shiny and moist it is. Can you see the juices? And the bacon's already started to crisp off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to baste it again. That's why you need all the wine in, because you need plenty of the butter and the wine to baste. So we're just basting it again, just get a bit of final baste, and then we're going to pop it back in and just crisp that turkey skin and the bacon off. So that's going to go in for another 20 minutes, and then hopefully we should be all ready. So that's going in now. So there we go, it's all basted again, so just pop that back in. Yeah. I think we might just put the pigs in blankets in now at the bottom as well, so they can just start cooking off. We've already put some more maple syrup on them so everything's in now, so it's just the vegetables and the other desserts. But oh look, as well, whilst that's been cooking, I've made more little madeleines. Pretty, aren't they? So they're sort of working, aren't they? They're so gorgeous. I'm so pleased with them, I'm so proud. Anyway, I'm going to have a nice cup of tea now and move on to the next stage, and Millie and James will be here then.
Hi guys, we have arrived.
We have.
You've seen a lot of prep from Vicky already this morning.
Oh, she's arrived.
Archie's arrived. We've been very busy, haven't we guys? We've been so busy preparing all this.
Everything looks lovely, smells lovely as well.
It smells really good. It smells like Christmas in here.
It does.
Even though it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's not Christmas, but we get them vibes, don't we?
Well, this is the only time we probably have all this, isn't it?
Yeah, big family meal and stuff like that, like this. What are we doing now? We're not taking over, we're helping.
We
You're
are
helping. You're making
sweet potato casserole. So we're going to start by putting the sweet potato into boil, and then we're going to prep our veggies.
That's a really good idea, because then
We've
that
been
can
instructed.
No, that's a good idea, because that can be cooking while she's preparing
Yeah,
the
we
vegetables.
still have to come
I
back
think
and do
that's
this
so
after.
sensible.
So,
Yeah.
do you want to bring the pan over?
Yes. I've got that. Oh.
Mind
Whoa.
Archie.
Careful, it's hot,
It's hot,
Archie,
yes.
careful.
Hot.
Throw them in. So what is
Put
this?
them on there, pop them on there.
I'm not going to throw them in hot water.
Oh, that's ready to throw them in.
That's not a good idea, James. So we've got a lot of sweet potato.
Is that sweet potato, is it?
It
There's
is.
6 sweet potatoes,
It looks a bit
because
calorie.
that's what your recipe said.
6. That's a
Oh,
lot of
wow.
sweet potato.
Right,
This
so
should
very
be-
gentle
I'm
putting it
really
in, so
scared
don't
about
burn
this.
yourself.
Ah, just throw it in.
Hot water.
Ah, there you go, you see?
There we go.
Right, then let's get that back on.
All freshly prepped.
Archie's found the lollipops
Where was it?
already.
Oh, yeah, they look sick, right?
They do look really good.
James just found them, and Archie just found them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
Oh.
Ooh, sliding off. He'll be having one of those later when we warm them back up.
Right, this isn't
That'll
hot,
be
is it? So
favourite
what are
thing.
we doing next?
Roast
So,
potato,
that's on.
roast vegetables.
We're
We're doing roast
roasting the
vegetables. So
vegetables.
aren't we just throwing everything in?
No, we've got to
Listen to
We've got
Millie.
to-
Millie knows.
Go on.
we've got to put the oil in first.
As you guys know, when we cook, it's always a shambles.
Okay.
They've got to learn though, haven't they? They're learning.
That's
so it's
enough.
good.
Okay, now do I throw these in?
Yes.
Well, for
And what are they?
Parsnips. I do like parsnips. I do actually like
They're
parsnips.
parsnips.
you don't really like these.
Oh yeah,
Sprouts.
well we've got to ruin it with sprouts. Let us know.
They're in.
Sprouts are not in the comments below.
I love sprouts.
What else should we throw
We're
in?
going to throw in these.
Do we not need to chop the tops off?
No, this is
No,
the whole
what
vibe.
Little
roast?
tops.
No. This is it. It's roasting. This is how you roast.
What, you got little toppies on?
Yeah.
she's
It's
not
all
part
part
of
of
these.
these.
I feel like you
Adds
should.
to the flavour.
Okay.
It
What's
does.
next?
this is Swede, isn't it?
No, it's butternut squash. It is
Butternut
hot.
But it makes Swede, right?
I was going to guess mango.
Lily, I tell you, we blanched that already. I have for
Yeah.
you. Just it's not cooked. It's just blanched, so it's easy. 'Cause it's very tough butternut squash.
Okay.
So we blanched it, as everyone's seen, and then you can add that. So it's not cooked, but it's just cooked
It's
off
ready
the
to
edges.
get cooked.
Ready
properly.
to be roasted.
There's a lot of that.
Awesome.
I
A
do
lot
like
of
that.
that.
Archie likes that, doesn't he?
What next?
We've got some
Tomatoes.
tomatoes.
Oh, a lot of tomatoes. Little mini tomatoes.
So we're all going to mix this all up, so it doesn't have to be in sections.
And then onions.
Onions.
Red onions.
Oh, okay,
There
okay.
you go.
Should all this not be mixed, or are you going to
Yeah,
mix
we're gonna
it?
mix it.
Okay.
There
Mix.
you go.
So we're going to we'll mix that up first, then we'll add a bit of oil.
Yeah, I'll
Mix
go
it
mix
up.
it. That
You
could be
get
my
And
job.
then once you've mixed it, guys, mix it, yes, and add the oil. Then you need to add just a little bit of coriander in there.
Bit of coriander, some
Just
herbs
break
and
it up.
spices.
Break it up as you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Keep just throwing
I
it
thought
in.
this can be the best part
A
of the
good
meal, isn't it?
quarter.
A good quarter.
I like to add coriander. It just gives it that extra taste. That's it. Oh, you're so good at this, you two.
Yeah, good at mixing.
Oh, it's looking beautiful.
Okay.
Archie's amazed.
Archie's
Oh,
like,
just
that's a bit too many vegetables for me.
Yeah, he's like, where's it?
When you roast them, they cook down. So they cook down, so they won't look
Yeah,
as many.
it won't look so bulky.
No, it
Yeah,
won't.
no. And
Okay.
what next?
So we've added some more oil, so we're going to add
What is that?
Cranberry jelly.
this is
Cranberry
cranberry.
jelly.
I'm pretty
Is it
sure
jam then?
these guys will love this.
It's cranberry jelly.
Oh.
So did
It's
you
like
say?
cranberry sauce.
Oh,
I don't really
Yes,
smell of
oh,
anything.
are you ready? You're going to mix this all in.
Oh, she's
Yeah, I'm good at
excited.
mixing. That's my job.
A little bit more. And then we'll save the rest to have with the meats.
There we go.
Mix
Mix
that
that all
in.
in.
And just add a little bit. Oh, Archie really loves these lollipops. He's dying to have one. You can
Then
have one
we've
in a
got some
moment,
You can
oranges.
try one soon, right?
Yeah.
darling. Archie's excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to have some orange. Are you finished mixing?
Well, you can probably on. Oh, they just
These
go
are
in.
two-
Oh,
yeah, these
I
are
thought
on
you
top, so
squirt.
they
I thought you were going to like drizzle.
No.
We did get prepped on what we were meant to do before, and
And then
obviously
you're
I'm
going to add
not
some
very
salt.
good at this.
Add some seasoning, some salt and pepper
Oh, I can
right
do that.
first before the oranges. And then I'd do a little bit more oil because you need plenty of oil in this because it is a roast dish. I'd do
Bit of
more pepper
salt.
in there as well, James.
Get
I
the
would.
sprouts in some oil.
Oh,
And
yes.
also, you can look
A
back
halt.
on this and know how to cook it in the future, all these recipes, you two.
Oh, yeah, I'll be watching for maybe everything covered in the veg pot.
So we've got plenty of oil in there. I'd,
Yeah.
I'd add
Bit
some more oil. I really would, yeah. Really soak it in the oil.
This is how you make vegetables not
That's
healthy.
it.
That's why they
That'll
taste so
do.
good.
Yeah, this is how you make it not healthy.
Hi, baby.
Looks good with the cranberry in.
Hi, baby.
Good.
Right, have you added enough?
Yeah, I think we've added enough in there.
Oh, my darling.
Yeah, right, let's put these on.
Put them on.
So oranges just add a little extra zest.
A little bit of zesty zest, Archie.
Okay, that looks good.
That's it.
Actually,
And
looks
then
really
you,
nice.
No, Archie, definitely.
well, show, if you lift it up and show everyone.
Oh, look
How
at
pretty
that.
is that?
Actually,
I
looks
think
really
so. I think making food
That's quite nice.
that looks pretty as well as smell, because you eat with your eyes as well, it's got to look nice. So.
I still think
Yeah,
we should
definitely.
have chopped the top of the
No,
carrot sauce.
honestly, when it's roasted, it adds to the whole look, honestly.
So
No.
what you're going to set that roasted and you need to take it out probably after about 20 minutes and give it a stir. So it'll probably roast for about 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Let's get it
On
in.
about
get it in.
180 degrees, which is on now.
Awesome, let's get it in. Is there room now? Or...
There is room, let's get it in.
Let's get it in. Do you
And
want
you
to
need
open
it
it?
higher in the oven. Oh, she's very excited.
Oh, oh, look at that. Oh, there's good food in there and it smells
good.
lovely. Sweet. Right, we'll get on with the next things and we'll see. I can see marshmallows because we're doing a sweet potato casserole, aren't we?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, put in the sweet potatoes.
I have nicked a few marshmallows already.
Well, I'm gonna leave everyone to make the casserole. I mean, Archie, you're gonna play just a little bit.
Yeah. Right, we'll see you guys in a minute. Alright guys, the vegetables are ready to be stirred.
They are.
So let's get them out and then we're going to do some sweet potato casserole. Or at least we're going to attempt it. You guys know what our cooker's like. Do you want to get that out? Oh, it smells lovely every time that oven opens. You right?
Yep. Oh, they're looking good. Oh, it's heavy.
I'm not surprised, there's a lot in there. Let's shut that up.
Oh, it's looking good. I don't know if you can
Ooh.
see that, but
Yeah, I think you guys see it. The camera's the opposite way around right now, so we're not 100% what you can see. I'm pretty sure you can see it. Oh, the juices are flowing in there as well, aren't there? There's a lot of juices in there.
Look at the oil as well, isn't it? Looking good.
Oh, she's having a rampage as well. It's looking good. Nice little stir, then do we put it back in for a little bit?
Yeah, it's going to go back in for a bit longer.
Awesome.
Just gonna stir this up.
Yeah, get that stirred up.
Looking good.
Looking good,
It
like
smells
you say.
really good for vegetables.
It does actually. Surprisingly, it does.
Okay, so this can go back in.
Yep, get that
Looks-
oven open. Oh,
There we go.
lovely food cooking.
Vegetables
in
are
there.
going well. Our vegetables is our first thing we've
Yes, we've done so. We've contributed.
contributed, and it looks okay.
Right, what is next?
So we're gonna make sweet potato casserole. So
Bosh.
no,
No.
we have got to
What next?
drain the sweet potato first.
Yes,
and
I will
mash
do
it.
that. And then, do you need to start with anything else, or?
No, I need the potatoes. So we're gonna
Potatoes
mash
drained.
it. Oh, that's how you know.
Do you want me
it's
to go
all-
for it?
Yeah, you go. But it's good that it's mashing. Because that means we've done the first
Oh yeah,
step
look at
correct.
that. It's mashing.
That looks good.
We don't want any lumps in this masher. Actually,
No,
no, it's in
James
the
has a thing
casserole. It'll
about
be
lumpy
fine.
mash.
Yeah, that's like mashed potato, but this is in casserole, so I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. I think you'll be eating the marshmallows.
Oh,
on top,
oh,
won't you?
so. Look at that. Yeah, the marshmallows are my
This
favourite
looks
bit.
good.
Again, I don't know if it'll work, but we've like I say, we've seen this so many times.
Yeah.
Having marshmallow and casserole and stuff like that together.
I can't picture the taste, but we'll see. What happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got
Right.
this is our mixing bowl. So we're going to pour.
Does that go in there?
Yeah. So all that mash needs
All
to
that
go in
good
there.
stuff, you
So
might need
I'm
to
just gonna
scoop it.
use this.
Oh, it's going.
Let's get all that in.
Yeah. Get that in. Oh. We're spraying everywhere.
We wouldn't be us cooking without a bit mess.
Exactly. Get that
Okay.
in there.
There we go.
Nice. Get
can
that out of the
go
way.
On that hot. So we've got that in there.
Right.
Really good mashing that. That can go away now.
Yeah, I think that's fine mashed, isn't it? That is
It is.
mashed.
Okay. So we need to.
What do
We
we
just
need
need to add everything in. So we've got everything measured out already.
Yep.
So we've got 3 tablespoons of orange juice.
Aha, it's orange juice. I thought it was like some melted butter or something like that.
No, that's orange juice.
Okay, next.
We have got
Butter.
butter, 1/4 cup,
Quarter of a cup. Get that in there.
measured up.
Oh, yeah, get that butter in there. How much cinnamon do we put in?
A pinch. So you can. Oh, that
Yeah,
might be. Yeah.
I think that's a pinch.
Okay, that's a pinch. That's very cinnamony.
Next.
And
What's
next
this?
we've got 1/2 cup of brown sugar.
Oh, it's brown sugar. Bosh.
Okay, and now this needs to go in the mixer.
In the mixer.
Yep, put that in the mixer.
Sound.
And then we'll add the marshmallows on after. That'll be your favourite bit, I think.
Let's go for it. Right, it's locked in
Okay.
place. Push that down and turn.
There we go. Oh,
From Max. Gotta go Max.
sweet potatoes flying.
How long do you do this for?
It's a mix.
Oh, it smells cinnamony. It smells nice.
Should we look? That looks pretty much.
Give it a second. Getting that whipped up.
I think that's done.
Right then.
I think James likes flavoured with it.
I enjoy the whisk. Yeah, so.
I think so.
Right, let's have a little look there. Some bosh.
Let's get all that out.
Get that out. Turn that way. You got it?
That is done. Perfect.
Look at that. Show that off. Look at that goodness. Looking good, isn't
Smells
it?
good actually with the orange juice. You smell the orange juice, can't you?
Smells good in there as well.
So we've got this lovely crab tray,
Crab tray, yeah.
and we're just going to
Clean
pour
that.
this in. And then you're going to get your marshmallows ready.
Oh, the best bit.
I'm really confused about how this is going to taste. I am excited to finally try it.
Yeah, I don't really know to be honest, but let's say I'm quite intrigued to try
I
it
don't
as
have
well.
anything against sweet potatoes.
I like
I
sweet
like
potato.
everything that's gone
I
in.
like these
so-
sweet potato chips you can get from the shop and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's
you,
what
you
I
do
like.
like sweet potato, don't you?
Yeah.
So we'll just spread that around.
Put that there. Get that spread out.
This looks good.
Looks good. And now what do we do? Just spread our marshmallows.
So now you just got to sprinkle your marshmallows, kind of so that it completely covers it.
Do you want to grab some?
Yeah.
Oh, we dropped some more.
Drop in
But
some.
that's for Ted. Ted's gone straight for a marshmallow. Oh. Look at that.
That looks interesting.
Very interesting.
But you guys
Oh,
said
right,
this is...
it's sinking, it's sinking. What do you think, Mum?
Oh wow, that looks really good. Oh, that's going to be so tasty.
We're doing a good
Oh,
job.
I love that. You
High
have done a good job. Oh, look how they mashed.
Looks good.
Yeah. Oh, so that's going to go in the oven then. So I'd put that in the bottom of the oven for now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the marshmallows do they just melt and go into a mush?
Okay, lad. I'll get Archie.
Oh, yeah, it's because Gigi left him.
Yeah,
He's
they just
only
melt.
plain. Yeah, so they melt into it. Oh, sounds good.
It's going to be
delicious.
interesting. I'm not sure how it's going to taste.
Oh, I think it's going to taste. If you love sweet potato and you love
Yeah,
marshmallow,
marshmallows,
it's going to be gorgeous, I think.
I think the marshmallows will make it.
Yeah. Exciting.
Archie just wanted his camera time. He's like, oh, marshmallows.
We're going to have to maneuver.
Oh, come on, Gigi.
Yes, if you just move the belly pork to the left at the bottom, it'll just slide in the bottom. Take it out the belly pork and I'll move it round in a moment.
Oh, it looks good, that belly pork.
That can stand actually.
Smells good as well.
That's actually ready really, so that can just stand because this won't take on. How long does it take, Millie? Did it say? yours?
25 to 30
Oh,
minutes.
so that can just stand because it's good to let your meat stand anyway for a good 10 minutes before you carve it. If not, it just seizes up. So that will work lovely.
So everything's in.
And actually, it's not. You need to pop the mashed potato in to warm through crisp at the top. Sorry.
Oh, you know what we forgot to do? Take
do
it back out.
Wait, what?
We
What's
haven't
that?
put our pomegranate on top.
No, pomegranate goes in last.
Ah, you see,
Yeah,
we
that's
know what
good.
we're doing, we know what we're doing.
Right, here
What's
we go.
going on? What's that?
That
happening?
goes.
Where's that going?
That's
So if
okay.
you turn your marshmallow onto the side, and it'll go in the side.
What is this?
That is mashed potato with garlic, parmesan, and breadcrumbs,
Mmm. You can smell it there.
and soft cheese.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh,
Oh, it just fits.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Good job it's only us guys for this bit, isn't it?
Do we have anything else to cook?
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Well, we'll
That's
see you
it.
guys. I don't know whether we're going to cut this up into 2 parts.
Just
So
going
if
to play with Archie.
it is in 2 parts, smash that button, smash the subscribe button. Hope you enjoyed the whole cooking process. We are going to eat it, do a Q&A and stuff like that. Oh, so hopefully you have enjoyed. And what's your day?
Have a fantastic day.
We'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.